is enough said.
What's up, Heat Nation? Your boy Ernest here, back with another Miami Heat Talk video. Happy Monday, everyone. Hope you and guys enjoyed your Mother's Day weekend. Lord knows I did, but I'm ready to rock and roll on another Miami Heat Talk adventure. But before we get started, guys, click the like button. Don't forget to subscribe. We almost at that 4,000 subscriber mark, so I need all hands on deck. Let's go. So a few things I want to talk about today, you guys. No real huge rumors, updates with the Miami Heat. You know, last week, you had the whole Pat Riley with Jimmy Butler thing. You had a few rumors pop up, the whole Kevin Durant thing. Things are a little quiet right now. It's all about the playoffs right now. I will say that Anthony Edwards in these playoffs this year is like Jimmy Butler of last season. You know, Anthony Edwards is the hot guy right now, just like Jimmy was last year. Because in the playoffs, Jimmy was the player that everybody was talking about. Playoff Jimmy was going out of his mind this time last year. But that's cool. You know, it's not always your year every year. So us Heat fans know how to stay positive. Be patient because our time will come. I really feel like next year can be the year. But I will say, you guys, out of the 8 teams that are left, the Nuggets, the T-Wolves, the Knicks, the Pacers, the Celtics, the Cleveland Cavaliers, the Thunder, and the Dallas Mavericks, my pick's going to go Minnesota. I love me some Anthony Edwards. I love how Minnesota's playing. I'd love to hear from you guys. Who's your pick to win the championship? If you ask my opinion, I think the finals would be Minnesota and Boston. That'd be a hell of a series. Minnesota and Denver are tied 2-2, so it's really interesting to see what's going to happen there. Denver came back. So these playoffs are really interesting. I'd know what you guys think in the comments. But we talking Miami Heat basketball today because you know your boy Ernest is always going to find something to talk about. And over the last couple days, there's been a name that's been hovering around the Miami Heat. And no, it's not a free agent or a trade destination partner. It's somebody to get in the draft. Now, last week I did upload a video for you guys, 5 players who I thought that were perfect candidates for as a pick for the Miami Heat. But one of those players stood out, has been standing out for weeks. And it's actually something that a lot of people are talking about. Mr. Zach Edey. Zach Edey, the 7'4" phenom from Purdue. 7'4", 300 pounds. This dude is a beast. We've talked about him before. The dude averages about 25 points a game, 12 rebounds, 3 block shots a game. He's a phenom down low. He gives you defensive presence. He gives you a defender anchorship, which we haven't really had in a long time. Our center has been Bam Adebayo, 6'9", an undersized center, but still, in my opinion, one of the best centers in the NBA. Poised to get a contract extension. But now you having multiple reports by Ira Winderman, Bleacher Report, there's Sports Illustrated. A lot of people are putting Zach Edey at the 15th pick slot for the Miami Heat. Now, I know we've talked about Zach Edey before. I've cut 2 different videos about Zach Edey in the past. And I'll leave the link in the description for you guys so you can go watch those videos if you want to get a refresher on Zach Edey. But Zach Edey is a guy that the Miami Heat have not had since Hassan Whiteside. A 7-foot bruiser down low that can block shots and grab rebounds. Now, the real question is, it's not if the Miami Heat fans would draft Zach Edey in the 15th pick. Because you have a lot of Heat fans that are clamoring for Zach Edey. Because he gives you something you haven't had in a long time. A dominating presence down low. A guy that can block shots. A guy that can rebound. If you look at this Miami Heat team, not one player averaged 1 block a game. Bam came pretty close. 0.9. But we know that Bam Adebayo is not scaring defenders with his block presence. He can rebound. But we've seen Bam, his rebound game, sometimes he gets like 5 to 6 rebounds. It's not what you need from your starting center. You need a guy who's going to get you double-digit rebounds on a nightly basis, and that is Zach Edey. But the real question is, does Erik Spoelstra want Zach Edey on this team? Because Erik Spoelstra, the last time he played a center like this was Hassan Whiteside. And we've seen that Erik Spoelstra likes to go a different way. He likes to go with a more smaller lineup. With Bam Adebayo as the starting center or the starting front court guy for this team, we've seen what Erik Spoelstra has liked to put besides Bam. Guys like PJ Tucker, guys like Caleb Martin, guys like Jimmy Butler, he likes to put undersized fours next to Bam. Now, the only time you saw Eric Spoelstra use actual centers next to Bam was in the 2020 season and the 2021 season when you saw Kelly Olynyk and Myers Leonard playing next to Bam. Zach Edey is not that guy. Zach Edey does not space the floor with his three-point shooting. He has no three-point shooting. Bam Adebayo is not known for his three-point shooting, even though this year he took a step forward, showing that he has a three-point presence. I need Bam Adebayo to step that up next season. If Bam Adebayo can be a regular three-point shooter in a way that Chris Bosh was by the time he was in the Big Three era with this Miami Heat team, if Bam Adebayo can get to that level, then yes, Zach Edey would work perfectly next to Bam, because these are two guys that are bruisers down low. They'll dominate defensively. Bam can space the floor with his shooting. But defensively, with Zach Edey, Jimmy Butler, and Bam Adebayo as your front court starters, that's going to be a nightmare for a lot of teams. And we're seeing certain teams in the NBA are going back to a size presence. Teams like Minnesota, teams like Denver, it works. So maybe you get a guy like Zach Edey, but I've said this before, and I said this in the last video. Zach Edey is a nice shiny toy for Miami Heat fans, but do not discredit Kyle Filipowski from Duke, because that's a guy that I have my eye on. A 7'1" center who averages almost 2 blocks a game, also averages over a steal a game, moves quicker than Zach Edey, but can also hit the three-point shot. He averaged 36% behind a three-point line in college. In Duke, a highly credible team. I like Kyle Filipowski because he meets that criteria that fits next to Bam Adebayo, that Eric Spoelstra likes. The last time we've seen a center like Zach Edey on this Heat team was the Hassan Whiteside era. And we remember that era not to be the best with Eric Spoelstra. Now, obviously, it was because Whiteside was a knucklehead. I'm sure Spoelstra can take Zach Edey and have him play in his system. And who knows, maybe a player like Zach Edey would actually be perfect under Eric Spoelstra's system. Give Eric Spoelstra an opportunity to have a center like this that listens to him. Maybe that's it. So I want to hear from you, Heat fans. We're talking about Zach Edey specifically today. Do you think that Zach Edey is going to be a great player in this Miami Heat system next to Bam Adebayo? Do you think that Eric Spoelstra can make it work? Do you think Zach Edey is the answer? Because let's be real, you guys. The Miami Heat have been lacking this in the defense for years now. There's a lot of times when we're playing and I'm like, rebound the ball. Get a block. That's what Zach Edey can do. Do you think he's worth it at the 15th pick? Let me know in the comments what you think, you guys. Don't forget to like the video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Really appreciate your guys' support. Love you guys. Hope you're having a beautiful Monday. Enjoy your week. And that is enough said, Heat fans. Stay positive. Don't forget to subscribe.